Oh, you the man. You the man. Oh, you knocked out. How many women in crack? I'm gonna tell you what, these shorts kind of get ate up a little bit. We ain't gonna tell you what's eating them, but they do a little bit.
These are dream moves. This is someone else. I'm not myself. No.
Girl, in tonight's episode of maybe you need to stay your black tail home a little bit more often, I felt like I almost got, I won't say tackled because dude wasn't aggressive, but I was definitely thought of as a thief. Okay, I went to this lounge tonight, which lounges are really my go-to. I'm not into clubs and blah, blah, blah. And I hope this is a good wave that's coming through Kansas City because we don't have a lot of lounges. We have clubs, we have bars by the pound, but a lounge, you know, where you can kind of sit back, chill and all that, no, not so much. And as I understand it, this place is about to have a cigar section and some more stuff. Like the area that I was in, they only used about a third of it, according to one of the workers there. But anyway, when I got there, it was pouring down rain. And I couldn't really film my way in because I wasn't gonna damage my phone. And I was like, you know, I'll catch it later if I'm getting ready to leave, blah, blah, blah. So let me take off these shoes. Which, by the way, let me tell you my shoe hat, because I got little compliments on my shoes. Y'all know the shoes I'm wearing. If you see the blazer, you know I'm wearing these shoes, right? Mad compliments on my shoes, but I had to do a little hack with these shoes. I'll insert a clip and show me and my little shoe hack in a minute. Probably film that in my bedroom because there's not a lot of room here. But anyway, since I didn't film me going in and out, I was like, oh, I'll get that later, da 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 da. So I'm there. I had some chicken wings. They weren't bad. I like my food too hot to eat, like when you serve it to me so that I can take my time. It's still pretty warm. So when I got it, it was definitely not too hot to eat. It was warmer than room temperature for sure, but it was not hot. So I wasn't happy with that. But then, you know, nosy me, I'm kind of like the service is slow, like what's going on? I got 4 wings. I felt like it should have been 6. I asked the waitress about it and she compensated, like she knocked my drink down, the price, all of that stuff. So anyway, I guess to some degree, I might have been a little bit irritated. So I was kind of ready to go. Get my drink, get my chicken wings, listening to the band, enjoyed the band, but they weren't playing all the songs I really liked. They were kind of dipping into some songs I wasn't all that crazy about. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go. That's the beauty of going by yourself. You get to leave when you want to leave. You leave your home when you want to leave, all the things. So I'm getting ready to go, and then they start playing music I actually like. So I'm like, you know what? I'll stay a little bit longer. By now, I've had 3 glasses of water, plus I've had my cocktail. The cocktail itself was, the drink was actually better than the food, now that I think about it. It's more bar than restaurant and lounge, but that's fine. So anyway, I was like, okay, I'll go ahead and have another drink. I'm gonna stay a while longer, because I think they ended up doing a total of 3 sets. So we're into set number 2. Set number 2 is warming up. So I'm like, okay, cool, I'm staying. I order my drink. But the owner is right there. How do I know he's the owner? Because when I first got there, I was like, is this assigned seating? Do I get to sit where I want to sit? And he was like, well, you can't sit over there because those spots are reserved. And he pointed to one section, but he didn't point to a section that I was actually looking at. So I was like, oh, okay, because I see a reserved sign on that. Is that an old sign or how does that work? And he was like, I'll let you sit there. You can go ahead and sit there. So I'm like, cool. But if you're just the host and then the people who really reserved it are finna kick me out, I don't want that. So I said, it's not a thing where I'm gonna go there and then I'll get kicked out, right? He was like, no, I'm the owner, blah, blah. Got it, cool. All right, so I go sit over there, honey. I must have moved the reserve sign like it was reserved for me. And I'm watching, doing my thing, blase skippy. All right, so now we fast back forward to when I decided I'm gonna have my second drink. I have my second drink, enjoyed myself. I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot. Now that the rain has let up, I can feel myself going in and out. So I go out. Maybe because I didn't have a camera, but I got my phone. So I take the phone out, I film it, and then I turn around. Baby, when I turned around, why was the man holding the door open for me? Looking dead at me.
Oh, that's really not what I was doing. I was telling you she was ready to ring you up for that second margarita.
Oh, that's good. I wasn't leaving.
Oh, I know. I see what you did.
And I'm on some, that's so nice. And you opening the door. Like, it's not even dawning on me that this man thinks I'm about to skip on the check because I haven't done that in decades. Like, honestly, I just got too much loose to be playing that game right now. You know, I would be so embarrassed to get caught doing something like that. And mind you now, I ain't never been caught. Never have. Like, back in the day when I did what I did, I didn't get caught doing what I was doing. But anyway, it dawned on me later and it was so funny. But anywho, all of that is forgiven. I understand they're gonna do a whole lot more. And I was like, oh, okay. Because I wanted to show what the upstairs is gonna look like. It's supposed to be like 8 rooms, VIP, a whole bunch of other stuff, its own bathrooms, da 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 da. So I'm like, cool, I'm gonna film that. And they were like, it's nowhere near filming. So I said, oh, okay, well maybe it'll be open by New Year's Eve. Owner came up, he was like, New Year's Eve, trying to get that thing open by September. So I was like, oh, I want to see that. I'll be back and to see what that was like. But I don't even know what I was saying. In today's episode, I need to stay home. Oh, maybe then I wouldn't be getting accused. I don't know. But yeah, I'm having a good little weekend so far. Not doing a whole heck of a lot. Today, I kind of chilled. Took care of a few things for mom, but mostly chilled. And I needed that. I literally needed that. I did some laundry. Changed my linen and all of that stuff. I got ready to do my nails, but the stuff I was taking care of for my mother took a little bit longer than I needed, so nails still aren't done, which we need to get them done. Stop getting them done. Girl, you know you do them yourself. Which I need to do them, let's say that way. I need to do them because tomorrow I'm going to a wedding. Like it's wedding season and I love that. Like I love. And I hate it when people talk about old bitter broads and divorced bitter broads. And I am so not that. I love a good love story, genuinely love them. But just because I'm not interested in it for myself, like I've had my love. I've had it. I enjoyed it. It was awesome. If it happens again, that'll be awesome. But I think God's going to have to massage my heart for it this time because I'm not in a hurry. I'm not. Like, I have a plethora of other things that I just have on my agenda right now. I have other things that I'm thinking about. Like, as I think about getting ready for the road to retirement, do I want to do a second career in something? Do I want to? Like, there's stuff I'm thinking about. And I literally met someone this week, or earlier this week, and he was like, I'm only into women who are actually retired. I don't want anybody who's still working. I want somebody, you know, come stay with me, lay with me, chill with me and all that. That's great. I am not that chick. Like, even when I retire, I don't want to just sit around. Like, at most, I want to wait maybe 3 months and then go on my next trip. So 4 trips a year to me does not sound crazy. Like, that to me is what retirement is. I want to take at least 4 trips a year, you know what I mean? And I ain't talking about a trip to Iowa. What's the city in Iowa? Des Moines? Yeah, because if you put money on the table, I can't think of another. Oh, Boise, boom. I was about to say I can't think of another city in Iowa. Iowa or Idaho? Iowa. Yeah. Anyway. Just saying, to me, what retirement is all about is this about, yeah, is it Iowa or is it Idaho? Boise, Idaho, I'm pretty sure that's right. Des Moines, Iowa. Yeah, I don't think I can think of another city in Iowa. As soon as I turn the camera off, it's gonna come to me, I'm like, duh, Kymberly. But geography, I have never said geography was my subject. It is not. You know what's funny? So at the end of going to school, you end up taking a test and you have it in math, history, English. I don't think there's a science section. but I know it's math, history, and English. Now how I know? Because math and English, of course, duh. What did I score highest in history? How did I score highest in history? I felt like the questions they were asking me were like heck of basic, like 1776 type of questions. What happened that year? But if you ask me, I think I am most proficient in English. I don't know, I take that back. Math might be, well I took accelerated classes in math and English. And I'm not even trying to be funny or brag or nothing. But to me, math is one of those things where it's a formula. Like, it's pi is always 3.14. You know, like it's set. So there's no way to miss it. And then with English, I mean, I don't speak another language. If I was fluent in multiple languages, then I feel like maybe I would miss more of the English questions and things like that. And then there's literature, and I've always liked reading. But anyway, that is not what I was talking about. I was talking something about getting caught for stealing, and I wasn't even stealing that time. Like, for real, I legit was not stealing. I've told y'all stories about sticky fingers, but I promise my fingers are smooth as a baby's bottom now. I'm not stealing nothing. But I don't even know what else I was talking about. Maybe the shoe hack, whatever. Anyway, I need to be going to bed, because guess what, y'all? This is another night where I stay out late. It's already 10:50. I probably got home around 10:30, and oh yeah, because I was talking to my friend, and I was like, girl, I got pulled over, and for the first time, it wasn't about profiling. It was about I legit was speeding and didn't get a ticket. So we were talking about that, and she was like, yeah, because you remember so-and-so, we had a friend who got a DUI. And I knew DUIs averaged about $10,000-ish. She was like, oh no, baby. He ended up paying like $18,000 or so for a DUI. And so apparently they start kind of scouting, looking, expecting people after 11-ish, closer to midnight, definitely by 2 and all that stuff, because that's when the drunk drivers are typically out and on the road. Didn't know that, didn't really think about it, because I could swear it's been a ton of holidays like Memorial Day and all of those. I feel like they be in the road during the daytime. So y'all missing y'all's quota on that, I'm gonna tell you that, officers. But between the ticket, you gotta pay the ticket, of course. You gotta do your court date. A lot of times they hire an attorney. Then they have to take the DUI. Well, I guess you don't need a DUI class. Because if you got a ticket for driving while under the influence, you done passed that part of it. I guess it's a I promise I'm not gonna drink no more class, whatever you call that. But anyway, so you gotta pay for the I'm not drinking anymore. She said there's a certificate or something. You then take the certificate to the DMV. I was like, that sounds like a whole racket. Because, yeah, many of the people I know, no shade, but many of the people I know who have a DUI don't have a DUI. They have a couple of DUIs. So I can't imagine, like 2 times, what's that, 36? I can't imagine. That's insane. So I said, oh, if I can get my little happy parts home and dodge all of that, that's exactly what I'm gonna do. So, and I'm not that person who needs to be out for a long time. I don't even know what happened that I was out that late. But I bet 11 o'clock, if I wasn't talking to y'all, my makeup would be washed off and my hind parts would be ready to get up in that bed. I'd have probably already showered, washed my makeup, at least put on my pajamas. Matter of fact, that sounds real good to me right now. Let me do that. Oh, let me pick up my shoes, because I'm gonna show you my little shoe hack. Girl, these shoes was getting all kind of little compliments. But I'm gonna show y'all what I did. Anywho, see y'all in a bit. Okay, y'all, so here is my little outfit of the night. Let me put this down. So these are my little shoes. Put my purse down. What am I, a step caddy? I don't know why they used to crack me up in Golden Girls when she be walking all around that house with that doggone purse on. In fact, I probably shouldn't have it all up in my face. Y'all would tell me if I had a booger or something, wouldn't you? Let me bring it down. Okay, what if we do this? Let me turn on my little light here. What if we do this like we're supposed to? and I say, all right guys, here's my outfit of the night. Once again, I'm wearing a short set suit. I kind of like the other one better because if I had my druthers, the shorts on this would mirror what the jacket is doing. It would have that ombre effect, but they don't. They're just a plain blue. And you know what, I say that, and then if it had the ombre effect, it would probably be too much, right? I don't know. But anyway, this is the outfit of the night, looking like this, right? When I tell you I bought these years ago, and I've worn them, I'm not gonna play like I haven't worn them a ton of times. Do you not see how perfectly these shoes go? You would think I bought them at the same time, but I didn't. All right, so let's get into the shoe hack. Of course, the shoe goes like this. When I wear the shoe properly, it goes like so. This makes perfectly good sense, right? Yeah. That's how the shoe should go. However, when I walk in it, it always just slips off like so, and that gets annoying. I'm just gonna flip the strap forward and stick my foot in it like that. They legit think that's how it's made. Not only that, but it's not flapping. I met a subscriber tonight. Wait. In my Tasha voice, I met a subscriber! Tasha ain't gonna do nothing but laugh at me for saying that, but that's the truth. And let me tell y'all what's so funny. After I met a subscriber, I texted Tasha and I was like, I literally said in my Tasha voice, I met a subscriber, and put a bunch of eyes in there. And she was like, did you film it? Did you show it? No, I didn't, because she was a little bit shy. I did take a picture of her and I asked her if she minded me taking a picture. Honey, she looked cuter than I did in the picture. I was thinking about not putting it in there. It's my channel, not yours. But I did anyway. And I mean, right there, she was like, oh, what's your name? Subscribe. I watched her just click the subscribe button and that touched my heart. So did I meet a subscriber or did I meet someone who subscribed? I'm sorry, Tasha. I guess I just met somebody who subscribed. But I'm still excited about it. So it's so funny when I look at my analytics, people from Kansas City are not subscribed to me. You know what I think that's due to? Me. I think that's due to me not putting myself out there and making it obvious and known, because I did just have my camera, but who else had their camera? Not my camera, I'm sorry. I just had my phone. Who else had their phone? Everybody. So how could you tell the difference? You know what I mean? You couldn't tell the difference between me filming for a YouTube channel and them filming for their family, for good memories, whatever. I'm gonna tell you what, these shorts kind of get ate up a little bit. We ain't gonna tell you what's eating, but they do a little bit. I want to go walking tomorrow morning, so I need to go to bed tonight, do my nails, and then we're off to a wedding. So we'll talk some more soon. Hey y'all, obviously it is time for me to cook a little something. I want my small vessel. Might as well do this because I don't know what it is. I get on here and I guess it's self-conscious. I don't want to be talking to y'all with dry lips. But I have never made, or I've never, have I? Before I tell that lie. Yeah, I'm sure. I've never used mushrooms as a meat substitute. I love my white one because I always do veggies on there. I've eaten mushrooms as a substitute, but I've never used them. So today I'm just gonna do my squash. I don't think I've ever even cooked squash on here before either. But I'm gonna do some spaghetti squash. You know, a lot of times people have meat in the spaghetti. Usually when I make spaghetti sauce, I actually use spaghetti sauce. Usually when I make squash, or spaghetti squash is what I meant to say, I use spaghetti sauce in it. So this time I'm like, what if I don't though? What if I kind of skip some of the preservatives and just do more fresh? I could and have actually made spaghetti sauce before. I made homemade lasagna, y'all. Everything except the pasta was from scratch. This is before I was substituting veggies for my pasta. When I tell you that was an all day process, I mean, I had the time. It was summer. Technically, I guess I could say I have the time now, but I don't know if I can make that from scratch. But what I will do is I figure I'm just gonna have, mushrooms in place of meat. And I'm gonna chop them a little bit. Did I put my chopper thing in upside down? Oh, it doesn't go through so well. I guess because it's soft. Okay, that went through. And then I'm gonna have to pick it out with my knife later. Oh, I see what's going on. Interesting. I didn't think that would happen. Yeah, it's getting quite stuck in there. Y'all see that? But we're gonna proceed with it anyway and then use my knife. Yep, that's gonna, because it's such a soft thing. It doesn't have a skin. Okay, I see. All right, let me keep doing this, y'all, and I'll be back. I mean, it chopped up pretty decent. But I guess because mushrooms are so spongy, it's getting stuck a lot. And then you have to be careful. These blades are so sharp on both sides, you can't mess around with it. There we go, that's a little better. While I was at Ross, I bought these silly little sink covers. They call it a poppy sink strainer. And I have a double sink. Yep, I got it at Ross for like $4.99. Have a double sink, and I don't know why, it just brings me simple little joy. I looked at it and I was like, $5 for a strainer? Like, y'all asking a bit much. But I liked it. And for $5, just to take a little glimpse at what I like here and there, very much worth it. I keep saying I'm going to start spending more on myself and the little things. And by no means am I saying $5 is the more. Obviously this is very cheap. But affordable, cheap, more expensive, all that stuff is really just so relative. And relatively speaking, $5 for a couple of strainers seem like a lot, because we both know you can get them at the BQ for, of course, $1.25. Hence the name BQ, right? Somebody told me even the BQ is about to go up to $1.50 on it. Everything, like minimum price $1.50. We already knew they had items in the store costing $3 and $5, but they're about to really, there's no $1.25 stuff anymore. What? Wow. When my daughter was a little girl, we would literally, I'd go in there with a $20 bill, honey, she could ball out. And with the taxes, like, sometimes she even struggled to try to pick out 15, 20 things. I might have to whip out a 5 if she did that to pay for the taxes, but yeah, that's sad. It saddens me on a lot of levels. Like here, we're about to have football season upon us again, and as a little girl, I remember my father taking me to the Chiefs games, and I would get so excited when I'd see the woman ride out on a horse. I mean, of course, she had on headdress, but I'm just going down memory lane. At the time, I just remember getting so excited about her riding a horse, and I thought, oh my gosh, I can't wait. I want to ride a horse. In fact, we did go horseback riding, child. Woo-wee. My older sister went with us, and I don't remember, we went to some farm over in Kansas on that horse. Let's see, I got my mushrooms. I'm thinking peppers and onions with this, and we'll cook it together. I promise you, I do not know what I'm doing with this, but I feel like kitchen is just something, this is a room you play with. This is a grown-up playroom. So I'm just gonna play around with this recipe. Y'all are welcome to follow along with, and I'll let you know honestly how it turns out. I'm fortunate that I can't think of the last time, you know what, I take that back. I took some beans to a barbecue. I was not crazy about those. It wasn't the beans I wanted, and I was out of my barbecue sauce, and I squeezed out the last bit of mustard, so I didn't even get to put as much mustard in it as I wanted. Did not care for those beans. But it's not too often. Oh, wait, another lie. I almost told that lie. I was gonna say it's not too often I cook something I don't care for, but another time I tried to follow a TikTok recipe. Since those are frozen, I'm gonna let them thaw a little bit and then put them in the skillet to cook. But it was a TikTok recipe of like peach cobbler of all things. I don't make a lot of desserts just because, ooh, that was loud, I'm sorry. I don't make a lot of desserts just because it's just me, and who needs to have a whole pie of anything? Blueberry, peach cobbler, whatever it is. Just this be enough tomatoes. They look like about enough. But I tried to follow some TikTok recipe of them saying how to use self-rise flour and all the things. And then on top of that, I went to my daughter's group and had to take it over there, honey. It was a whole mess. And of course, you always get the runaways, of which this time there was only one. And it didn't completely run away. So that to me is just easier, better than splitting them all. Yeah, I think that's enough. Let's bust open this squash. I need a bag. There's just something about squash and watermelon. I never really know how to pick them. Like if there's a secret to it, I don't know. I do know I don't like cutting them this way. I kind of liked it as a bowl. You know, you could eat out of the bowl with it, but I got tired of chasing that old wobbly bowl around. Oh, I definitely need to sharpen my knife. Let's go and sharpen this knife, shall we? Honestly, my knife sharpener feels like it has a catch in it, so I feel like I need to buy another one of that too. Well, I tell you, when it rains, it pours. I don't know about this. Is it sharper? Maybe a little. And then I missed the whole half of it while I'm trying to cut and look at the knife. Yeah, this doesn't feel right. Woo-wee! In today's episode of I Need to Get Married, my mother used to grow squash and all of that. There's so many skills of hers that I miss. When we first knew that she was starting to forget a lot more, where is my grapefruit spoon? Oh yeah, I need to go through this kitchen and do some reorganizing because this is crazy. We'll at least get a bigger one. But when we first started recognizing that she was forgetting stuff, my daughter and I tried to go over there and just kind of cook some of the recipes, whether it's salmon croquette or shrimp salad and things like that she would make. But the weirdest thing is that her mood was just so different. Okay, let me just get my hands in here because, girl, why am I struggling? I'm struggling with everything today. Whew. BRB. Because I just hate to keep making noise while I'm trying to talk with y'all. Girl, I really have to put my muscle into it. One down. At least I cut this one more shallow. Albeit by accident, I cut this one more shallow. But at least it is that. When I tell you I have never cared for the musty smell of these, I ain't kidding a little bit. I like to put just a little bit of oil on it just to make all my other seasonings adhere. But anyway, my mother grew squash. She had an awesome garden, and the strangest thing happened. Of course, I can't remember what it was, but when my daughter was expecting my granddaughter, her doctor or OBGYN ran some kind of test on her. You know, all the tested things that they do when a woman is pregnant, just to kind of see where she stands on various levels, how she responds to different things. So they're doing that with her. And lo and behold, her doctor asked her something about, oh, you must have played in dirt or something when you were a child. And my daughter was like, well, you know, my grandmother had a garden and I worked with her in the garden. And the doctor was like, good, because that made you healthier with regard to blah, blah, blah. I don't even know what it was that she said. And we were like, what? Who knew? Like, that's such an odd thing to find out. To speak of finding out, let's turn on the oven. I'm just popping it on to 375, excuse me, to bake these. But yeah, it turns out that playing in dirt helped her out. And I thought, man, that's different, because a lot of my kids today, they do not go out and just regularly play. And you can tell, sometimes there's a lot to be learned through playing, in my humble opinion. I feel like when they go out to recess, they learn about turn taking, they learn about losing. You know, that's something you gotta learn. And it just doesn't come naturally. And you find some people just don't know how to take an L, don't know how to, you know, just take the ups and the downs with life. Recess helps with that. Playing games in general helps with that. Basil, I knew I was missing something. I might even put some Italian seasoning on here as well. But yeah, we got oregano, onion powder, garlic powder, of course, y'all know me. I'll probably put some garlic in it later, minced garlic, but I don't put it in early because, you know, garlic has a tendency to scorch. So I got all of this to season it up and down. And I've got the oil in here. Like I said, the avocado oil just helps to adhere the seasonings and things that I put in there. I'm a little more generous with this one because this half it's not half actually, it's just larger. This side is larger, and then I cook it face down. Same as my salmon, I like to cook it face down. I was gonna say skin down, but that's not true. I start off with it this way, I'll bake it like this for probably a good, I don't know, this is a heck of hard. I usually go for 40 minutes. This might be close to 50, yeah. And then I'll turn it over and let it cook some more. But yeah, who knows? There's so much to be learned about how to navigate life when you're a kid. And a lot of it happens not just at school, but at recess and things like that. I'm one of those teachers who's very cautious about taking away recess. Hear me when I say I'm cautious about it. There is some philosophy that goes around. Some people believe in absolutely never taking away recess. No, I'm not that person. I don't ascribe to that philosophy because I feel like, let's say I punish the kid by saying, oh, but you don't get to do reading because you did A, B, C, or X, Y, Z. Whatever the behavior is that I didn't like, my punishment is now, oh, you don't get to have reading time. Well, if the kid doesn't care for reading time, that's not an effective punishment. I have not had many, if ever any, searching different sources of my mind, but all of my kids have cared about recess, all of them. So when you take away something they don't care about, they don't care, duh. You gotta have a little more sense than the kids. But when you strike at something that matters to them, hold on. If for no other reason, I'm not gonna hit Susie because I might get my recess taken. And kids are very self-centered at first. That's just a part of growth. But as they get older, we teach them to grow out of that. But yeah, I just think there's so much to be learned from recess and playing. And then to find out that digging around in her grandmother's garden, because I don't garden nothing. That's something I always said I wanted to do. Let's move around, y'all. I think I'm ready to cook this and see what we're doing here. Oops, I tripped putting my bowl over here. What Big Mama tell that little boy? This is my mama's skillet. This is my Big Mama skillet. We're gonna use the Big Mama skillet. And then here, this is my Big Papa skillet. All cast iron. I love the benefits of cooking with cast iron. I feel like, you know, it's great. But every so often I have to treat it again and da-da-da-da. Where'd I put that oil? And it's hard for me to believe they haven't come up with cast iron skillets that don't take me through all the rigmarole. All right, so I've got my mushrooms, my peppers, my onions and all that. Why I felt like I separated them, I really don't know. I'm gonna kind of season it just like I would spaghetti. I feel like there's just so much to be lost. I mean, of course I'm losing my mother as she continues to lose her memory, but there's just so much to be lost in terms of more things that she could probably benefit both my daughter and my granddaughter in. We'll just put all of that in there. And might as well get to seasoning. Garlic powder, onion powder. I swear, garlic powder, onion powder, it used to be Lawry seasoned salt were pretty much my trinity, but now I've probably swapped out that Lawry's for my no salt Tony's. Making this the last thing I sprinkle because you know what I'm gonna do next. Step back. I can't wait to find out how this turns out. Do I think it's gonna taste like meat? No. But do I think it's gonna have a nice little texture to it that hopefully won't make me miss meat so much? Yeah, I do. I kind of do. I'm gonna cook this up and then set it aside while my squash bakes. Now remember, I'm toying around with this, but just to give it more of an umami effect, I'm gonna add some Worcestershire sauce to this. I think that's gonna give it that savory essence of meat as well. I will say too that what I like about my chopper is that all of these pieces are chopped the same size, which just gives a more even, consistent flavoring all throughout. Typically, again, remember, I've never done mushrooms with this before. Have I done the peppers, the onions, the tomatoes, obviously? Yeah, I've done all of that, but mushrooms, this is a new element, as well as adding in the Worcestershire sauce with the mushrooms and all of that jazz, but we're gonna find out how it turns out. All right, so I'm just gonna take these tomatoes. I am gonna smash them up a bit before I put them into my squash. But they still won't be tomato sauce as much as it'll just be smushy tomatoes. We don't call it that. I could put them in my blender, but I honestly just don't even feel like cleaning that. And I do this because I put them in here half, just as they are before, and I didn't like chewing them as much. Mind you, everything else is already diced and to a certain size, so I might as well give these a little mush up. Just a little. Not even enough to, if I wanted it to be more like a sauce, I could just puree it and start the process of making my own spaghetti sauce, but I don't want to do all that. I just don't. I just want to give it a little bit to make it the way I want it. This time I am going to add garlic because I'm not as concerned about it scorching. Clearly I won't be adding a lot of it because this bottle's just about gone. But about a couple of spoons of it should be sufficient. Give that a little mix. I'm not going to season it because my other veggies are already very well seasoned. But we're going to add all this to the mix. This tastes so fresh. Of course I had to already do a little dip taste. majority of it will go here. Uh-oh, I might have more filling than I have squash. Say that goes in pretty well. Spoon a little of this in. My so-called ground beef. I tasted it again. Oh, it tastes so good and savory. I think I'm gonna really like this all together. If not, I'm sure tell y'all that. Don't do it! I blew it! Oops, the squash is trying to spaghetti up already. No, thank you. I'm just trying to put this all in together and let the flavors marry. Some of y'all are probably looking at this like, oh, that looks disgusting. Individually, everything tastes so good. I'm about to find out in another 20 minutes or so how it all tastes together. And actually, this could use a little more. And as meaty as this looks, as savory as I expect it to taste, please remember, all the ingredients in this is all just veggies. Veggies, veggies, and more veggies. Now, here's where you and I might part ways on this veggie dish. I'm gonna add some feta cheese to it. I know a lot of people aren't doing dairy, but I think they have a non-dairy feta cheese. Next time I go to Trader Joe's, I might even look into that. But what I like about feta cheese, besides its flavor, is it packs very, I won't say strong flavor, but you definitely get your bang for buck. Like I'm putting just a little bit of cheese on here, and that flavor is going to be enough. As I spoon it out and mix it up, I promise you that flavor is going to permeate. It's not like cheddar and Parmesan. I mean, they do have distinct and good flavors, but as much, not to me. Feta is the winner for me. All right, got my cheese on there. Into the oven this goes for another few minutes. I've already cooked it probably close to 30-ish. So I'll bake it another maybe 15, 20 if not needed. Because these were some pretty darn hard squash, but we'll see. I said a little feta and then I went feta crazy. Plus got it under my new nails I just pressed on. That too hot? Nope. Back in the oven you go, and we'll see what it's like later. Hey y'all, I am back from the wedding. In fact, in order to make it to the wedding on time, well, I wasn't even on time. I was actually late for the wedding. So late, in fact, that I was the last guest allowed in. Like when I got there, people were already lined up to go in. And one lady was like, I'm sorry, you can't go in. And I accepted it. I was like, oh, okay. I didn't care for the attitude and the way in which she said it, but that's fine. I was 15 minutes late. Hey, I was ready to accept the consequences. But then someone else was like, you can go around to the side door. It was a lady who was inside. She was like, you can go around to the side door. I wasn't familiar with that church, so I didn't know where the side door was. And so I stepped back and I was like, oh, the lady on the other side said I can go to the side door. Can you direct me to that? I don't know why she told you that. You can't go in. I said, calm down. It's a wedding. It's a beautiful day. I accept that. And I think by me saying calm down, she could kind of hear herself because, honey, you're abrasive to someone who's not. I'm repeating what she said. I wanted to see the wedding. That's why I came. Whatever. Next thing I know, I step up because I'm just kind of looking in. At that time, they had a saxophonist. But the saxophonist, he played throughout the wedding and he was talented. So I'm just watching. Y'all know I love live music. I was in such a hurry to go, I left my dishes dirty. And when I tell you, it drives me a little bit crazy. In my mind, I have not seen bugs in my home, but in my mind, bugs found their way to my home. They were crawling all over the place. Yeah, it was driving me. So haven't even taken off my makeup yet, which standing over this thing in makeup, not the smartest idea I've ever had. But we're gonna get to it. Anyway, the lady, when I was peeking in to look at the saxophonist, she went ahead and cracked the door and let me in, and she was like, if you would just go along this side, you'll be just fine. I heard the lady behind me, you know, like, why are you so, she was beyond upset. I get it, there were rules to follow. I was willing to follow the rules, but clearly this lady knew what she was doing, baby. I sat down, I was not in the way, I was not a problem, I disrupted nothing, and I too enjoyed the wedding. I really don't understand some people sometimes of how they go out of their way to be upset about things that really just ain't about their business much or whatever. But the wedding itself, onto that, let me put my lines away. The wedding itself was very nice. It was, in my humble opinion, I'm having a little wine tonight. And I feel like I'm doing a lot of drinking, well, lately. I feel like this week, this is like my third night drinking. Because I had drinks last night, earlier in the week, Tuesday, I think was whatever day it was. That's one thing about summer, baby, you sure will lose track of days. But earlier this week, I had, this might, since this is about to be my last one, let me go and pour it up. Pour it up. Y'all, I don't think our new wine expired like it does. Cause I've had maybe like half this bottle. I probably opened the bottle. I don't even remember when I opened it. I know it wasn't this week. Sometime last week? We're gonna leave it at that. We might be pouring this. I don't know how long wine lasts when you uncork it. Cause I was like, maybe last year or the year before years old when I found out that once you open almond milk, you only get like a week and a half on that. Girl, I've been opening almond milk and pouring it on my cereal and stuff until the expiration date of the carton. I had no idea. The things we learned. But anyway, the wedding was considerate. I'm gathering up little bits and pieces. I tell you, I left in a hurry. It was considerate because there was always something happening. Like once the wedding got started, you weren't just sitting there twiddling your thumbs. There was an interpretive dancer. There was a saxophonist, there was a poet.
Fellas, let me ask you a question. What does your woman see when she sees you? Does she see a man that likes to boast, who envies others when they toast? When she sees you, does she see a man that's unforgiving, who keeps records of wrongdoings? Or when she sees you, does she see patience, kindness, love, mercy?
Reception yet. There was always something happening, and I thought, wow, this has got to be one of the most considerate weddings I've been to. Considering the fact that most weddings I go to, okay, this wedding, it was supposed to start at 4:15, it started like 4:25, 4:30-ish. Mind you, like I said, I was like 10 minutes, whatever, 15 minutes, I'm just saying 15 minutes on the outside. I wasn't a full 15 minutes late. But I've been to weddings where literally you're waiting half an hour, fanning. Because it's hot in the church house. I don't know why, but it'd be hot in the church house. You're waiting, fanning, waiting. Nobody's there, nothing's happening, no music, nothing. Literally, I was almost at a wedding that started about an hour late. And I say I was almost there, because baby, I must have left it like 40 minutes later. Like, did somebody change their mind? Like somebody say something, mother of the bride, mother of the groom, somebody come out and say, we are sorry, but, or tell us something, so I left. But that wedding started, in fact, I remember backing up to my wedding, my first one. But anyway, the preacher was like, he was very adamant in saying that, hey, beyond this scope of time, say 15 minutes, the wedding is canceled. We are not going to be that church. We are not that people who are waiting and waiting. So make sure your bridal party knows, your makeup artist, that was me, your hairstylist, that was also me. Like I don't know, something has happened that weddings, well, let me take that back, because I was about to say have become a really, really big deal. This woman went all out. When I tell you, she has the kindness of a soul. You can look out and see tons of people there. Everyone's supportive. I can't think, the only time I can think of this woman having a negative thing to say was when something absolutely nasty was happening. It was avoidable, the whole thing. And she was like, dang, I didn't expect that. I didn't think that. I didn't. But as far as, oh, that scallywag, she didn't even do that. Like, just really a genuinely kind person, right? So anyway, the whole wedding was considerate. We then go to the reception. The wedding party was huge. So I'm thinking, taking pictures, it's gonna be a while. I stopped at a gas station and picked up some chips. But even for that, like again, super considerate. I text my friend, she was like, girl, where are you? You know, the reception hasn't started yet, but people are coming in, gathering. And I was like, I looked at the wedding party, figured it might be a little while they take pictures, so I stopped and got chips. No, they already had like a happy hour established for people to eat and nosh while we waited for the wedding party to come. Wedding party comes, and again, it's consideration on top of consideration. But it all ended, I'm just gonna fast forward because I feel like I'm talking too long about it. But it all ended with the DJ saying, please people, we're asking that you come up. They had to-go containers for people. You know, you see people piling high the food and all. No, you ain't gotta do that. They served the food at the buffet. Love that, because I literally, y'all, have been in a wedding where they didn't make the people wait to get the food. The guests got so much food. They piled it up. They brought so many kids. You know, them kids ain't, you know, no kids. But they had so many kids and all of that, and they feed them, piled the plates, did all. By the time the bride and groom came, they had run out of food. I was like, that's the most inconsiderate thing you could. But anyway, not this. They had it organized, they called tables. And at the end, like I said, they provided to-go containers for guests to take food home. Like they not only had enough food, they had an abundance of it. So I just thought that was just many, many ways that they thought about their guests. It was good. I have nothing negative to say about that wedding. I loved it. Now, all of that positivity said, I'm on my way home, and one of my girlfriends who did not attend that wedding gives me a call, and she was like, did you say I should look into the T app? And I was like, yeah, apparently that app is really putting women on. I even recently talked about, I haven't started editing that yet, but I was even recently talking about the T app, saying, hey, if I date somebody, I'm gonna make sure I go through the T app. I'm in no hurry to date, I'll say that. Oh, let me go back to the wedding. Because there was one thing that on the ride home, before I got my call from my girlfriend, I was actually feeling bad about, I don't know y'all, and don't just be nice out of nice sake, but it touched my heart. I felt bad because again, here she is, just being such a considerate bride of her guests in so many ways, more ways than even I named. And they got to the part where they're tossing the bouquet, right? And so the DJ's like, all right, all you single ladies, look at your left hand. If there's not a ring on that hand, come on up. We're calling you up here. Y'all, it's been a little minute. I got another wedding to go to soon. I'll see what that's like. But it's been a little minute since I've gone to a lot of weddings. You know, I'm just kind of at that age where, not to say that people my age aren't getting married if they so choose. There's always that option out there for you. But they're not having elaborate weddings. Some of them are going off on cruises and they get married. Destination weddings get married. I don't know if a cruise wedding is a destination wedding. I don't feel like it is. But anyway, they're doing that. And so they're just not having these elaborate weddings in general. But anyway, they get to the part where they're tossing the bouquet, and I'm kind of feeling like I blend in, you know, significantly with the crowd. Why did the bride find me, point right at me, and was saying, come up? And I was like, oh no, you know, no thank you, no thank you. You know, we're mouthing it because, you know, we're at a good distance. And she was like, come on, you, yes, come on up. Again, I'm saying, no thank you. Like, y'all, when I say, I don't even want to say what I'm genuinely not interested in, but let's just say there was nothing in me whatsoever that wanted to go up and catch that bouquet. But where I felt bad was I felt like, as part of being a good sport, I should have gone up there and at least, you know, kind of acted like I wanted to. Because at that time, 0 women had gone up to catch that bouquet. It's so different from wedding seasons past, where they start calling the women up and it would darn near be a stampede. Like, women were just running, rushing, elbowing, getting up there. They would toss the bouquet, same thing. Women elbowing, you'd see them wrestling and honey, there was none of that. There was absolutely none of that going on. Like I said, I didn't even want to go up there. And I'm just like, what in the world is going, like, things are just so different now. It saddens me, to be honest. It genuinely saddens me. Oh, don't get over there on my fingers. But anyway, I felt bad. I felt like, just as part of being a good sport, I probably should have just gotten up there and done it. It would have been easy enough. Thankfully though, and eventually, women actually got up there, and the woman who caught the bouquet seemed genuinely happy. And I would say she was also, you know, she was also a little up in years, and she still seems so happy and hopeful. And I love that. Like, I'm a person who loves love. Like, somebody tell me a love story, I'm tapped in. I am far more likely to listen to a good love story than I am a good, and I'm using good in a nice way, than I am a good gossip story or a good, like, whatever else is trending type of story. Those don't really appeal to me because they just don't serve me. I think I got dishes I need to take out of my dishwasher. Anyway, that being said, now, a ton of dishes in my dishwasher. I guess from when I washed them the other night. Oh no, these aren't nice. These are earlier when I was, oh yeah, I gotta make sure I eat my spaghetti squash. Girl, I had to run out of the house so fast. I was about to say I didn't even get to taste it, but that would be a bald-faced lie. I did taste it, but I didn't taste it with all the spaghetti as well. I just tasted the topping of it to see if I like the mushrooms. I did like it. It was not something that made me say, oh, this must be meat. You know, no, it didn't have the texture and all of that. And I'm fooling no one with that part, but it was good. It was savory. It was flavorful. It wasn't saucy because, you know, I didn't have a sauce on there, and I sure didn't make one. To be honest, I don't know that I will ever make a pasta sauce again in my life. Like I said, that was a whole big process. That was a lot. But anyway, but I did it. I did that back in the day when I was dating somebody who was half black, half Italian, and his Italian mother taught me. It was good. It was really good. But it was really a process. Like, are you freaking kidding me? My own culture has a process already. It's called washing the greens. You gotta roll them up, you gotta cut them, you gotta do it. That's a process right there. And then When I go bang for bang, flavor for flavor, which do I like better? I like them both. But that fresh pasta sauce can be imitated a little bit more than good greens can be imitated. You know, like I've had a ton of bad greens. They can be gritty, they can be bitter, too much vinegar. I've also had bad Italian sauce, but I haven't found a quick fix or an easy fix on the greens the way I found an easy fix on pasta sauce, if that makes sense at all. Probably not. I might have said that backwards. But anyway, fast forward now, all of that shit. Lord mercy. I was on my way home. I'm sorry, I see a receipt that I think, oh no, my eyes are playing tricks on me. That's a different receipt. But I was on my way home and my girlfriend was asking me about the T app. Like, isn't that the app you were telling me to be on? Da, 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 da. How about she said there's been a breach? When she said that, y'all, I'm not gonna kid you, that actually touched my heart. The breach on the T app, if you have, first of all, if you haven't heard of the T app, I feel like I've already discussed it and I just haven't edited it yet. So I'm not even gonna go into that part again. But the breach is that the women's information has been leaked out. In order to be on the T app, you had to give your personal information. You even had to show them your driver's license so that they could verify you were a woman. My initial concern was that women scrolling just for clickbait and views were saying, look at all these men we see on here, oh my gosh. And I was worried that, different photos might tell who the woman was. Well, now there's a breach. And the breach itself is telling who the woman is. It shows her driver's license. It shows where the woman lives. Y'all, there's so many dangerous things that can happen by you just never know what twisted individual is out there waiting to do what kind of harm. Like, I don't even understand the world we live in. In my humble opinion, I feel like these men have mothers, certainly. Many of them have sisters, nieces. There should be in their family girls and women that they love. They should be able to understand that. Look, I just feel like, and I've said this before, there are luxuries that men have that we women have never known. They want to get up, let's say their dog needs to be walked at night. They can get up and walk the dog at night. They want to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning and walk their dog before it's daylight. They can do that and there's no caution. It should be that way for women, but it's not. Not only is it not that way for women, but dang, if a woman actually just says, you know what, I'm going to take a leap of faith. I'm going to believe that I'm going to be okay. I don't want to harm people, so people don't want to harm me. And I'm just going to stroll out in life with that belief. If there's a woman who does that and then she gets harmed, there are so many people who are ready to say, well, what was she doing out that time of night anyway? She should have known, but they are just ready to blame her, to not believe her if she even speaks out about something that happened in the first place. So it's just insane, and it really touched my heart. It hurt my heart, if I'm being really honest. It hurt my heart to know that such a breach occurred and such information has been leaked out. And I just genuinely found myself praying for those women because it's dangerous. Here these women have the brave heart to speak up. They wanted to help other women. They wanted to say, hey, this guy is dangerous because he did this to me. And now that information is breached and it's out there. So the people that wanted to harm them may really come back and do that very thing. That's so sad to me. And I feel bad too as a person who said, oh, y'all might want to get on that T app. Oh my gosh, I hope none of you have been exposed. But please know, there was no ill intent in my heart when I told you that. Anything I say, I honestly want for your protection. That's just insane. At this point, and again, I haven't edited it. I don't know what's going to be in with which video, but I'll just say this here. In this one, at this point, I've already shared how I myself have been harmed at the hands of someone who didn't have good intentions. It's so weird, y'all. I feel like, and this is not a man bashing session, but I feel like good men even know this to be true, because y'all sit in those barber chairs and some of y'all hear men scheme on women and how to devise plans to manipulate them, fool them, trick them, get from them what you want and leave them depleted, hurt, or whatever. But I just feel like there are a lot of men who are truly, I call them homo-emotional, meaning that they get their emotional support from them. Like, I was at this wedding right tonight. I recently saw a video of a man who he's got his bride leaned over water and he's asking her, do you trust me? Like, you can trust me. And they're leaned over water, they're posing for these pictures, and after she verifies that she does in fact trust him, he drops her into that water. Like, why would you do that? Why would you verify that I trust you? You know why he did it? He did it for the giggles of people in the audience. He took her special day, her special time. Who knows how much money she spent on that dress, how much money she spent on her makeup, how long she's dreamed of that moment and all. He took all of that. So in hopes that, you know, somebody would giggle, he might get a laugh. Like, what was that one song? I hate to see y'all frowning, but I'd rather see her smiling. You want a man that would rather see you smiling above those cheap laughs. And I get it. He got married on that day too. If that was something he wanted, he needed to express that. Because no doubt she talked with him about, oh, and I want this, and I envision that, and I plan on that. He should have said, and I want to humiliate you, or I want to embarrass you, or I want them to laugh when I drop you. Like, if he would have expressed that to her, that probably would have, for me anyway, for this girl here, this lady, no. Please let me know that's what you intend to do. Please let me know that is going to fulfill your wedding wishes. Because I'm not saying you can't have that, you can. You just can't have it here. So that was just so sad. But that T app, I just had to talk about that. That truly concerned me. Genuinely pray for those women, because these homo-emotional men, I'll even call them homosocial. Like, I believe that they're genuinely sexually attracted to women. That may be most, if not all, that they want from women, but everything else, they want the approval of their homies, they want the giggles of their friends, they want the, oh, you the man, you the man, oh, you knocked out, how many women in crack you got? Like, that is just so sad and unfortunate. Okay, so I'm done cleaning my kitchen now. I'm in my bathroom getting ready to wash my face and all of that stuff. As y'all see, I did blush and all of that. Forehead still just broke out like an abandoned house window. But anyway, I'm praying for those women on that TA. I feel like that is such an egregious breach of safety and all of that. And there are so many people out there looking to harm so many people who look like us, who are I don't know about y'all, but I'm just trying to make it in life. I'm just trying to get along. And I'm wishing everyone else well in doing that. I feel like I'm rambling. Please forgive me. So let me just wash my face and get ready for bed. I already poured out the rest of that wine because I was like, I'm already in the mood. And I don't care what nobody says, alcohol is a depressant. Like, people talk about how no, it's a depressant. And I don't want to be any more depressed on this beautiful day. I just went to a wonderful wedding. So with that said, good night, and I'll see if we pick it up tomorrow. If not, farewell and all the things. We'll see how much footage we have. But anyway, love y'all, and I mean that. Good night.